Moving to Frisco, you're probably doing what every buyer does. You hop on Zillow, Realtor.com, whatever your go-to is, start saving homes you like the look of, reading about the neighborhoods, and then 30 minutes in, every neighborhood's a master planned community, resort style pools, top Frisco neighborhood, best school districts. And they all say it's one of the best places to live in Frisco. So how do you truly break them apart and decide which neighborhood is the best place for you and your family to live in? Because here's the truth, the best neighborhood in Frisco isn't necessarily the one with the nicest clubhouse or even the most expensive neighborhood for that matter. Best neighborhood is the one that fits your lifestyle and really what you need for everyday life. Neighborhoods are perfect if you have young kids. Others are way better and more strategically located if you have to commute every day. And others are about the long-term appreciation. You're really buying into what the neighborhood's going to become over the next 5 or 10 years. So today I'm going to be breaking down 5 of the neighborhoods I get asked about the most, and honestly a couple that are just my favorite. Not based on which one is the best, because honestly, the best for you may be the worst for someone else. Instead, I'm going to tell you exactly which neighborhood is for who. You should probably skip it, what the HOA fees look like, tax rate, school district, what the neighborhood feels like, pros and the cons, and by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly which ones should stay on your list and which ones you should get rid of altogether. Now, quick disclaimer, this is my opinions on these neighborhoods, driving them every week, looking at homes, showing clients, helping families relocate here, watching where they actually end up purchasing. Now, you may rank these completely different, which is okay. My goal with this video is not to convince you that my list is the best, but to simply save you hours or days from driving around North Texas and Frisco, figure out which neighborhood actually fits your family. Now, with that said, I am curious which ones you think I missed and should have been on this list, because there's a ton of great neighborhoods. You're going to be asking, where's Newman Village? Where's Panther Creek? Don't worry, there's a ton of great communities, and every community has the right fit for you. These 5, in my opinion, represent the best options depending what you're looking for. Now, let's jump right into Hollyhock. And I think this neighborhood flies under the radar a little more than it should. Honestly, I really don't understand why, because whenever I take people here, they always love it, love the amenities, the feel of this community, but whenever people relocate here, they're really just after, right? The first ones pop up is obviously the Fields of Frisco, we'll talk about later. Grove, Starwood, Newman Village. Hollyhock somehow gets skipped, which I think is a mistake. Because Hollyhock really gives you a great balance of price, location, amenities, schools, and long-term value, really anywhere in Frisco. Now, the first thing you'll notice when you drive into Hollyhock is it feels different than a lot of other communities. A lot of them feel like there's a bunch of homes stacked on top of each other. Here, there's more green space. Landscaping's matured a little bit more than a lot of Frisco neighborhoods. Clean, quiet, and honestly just feels finished. And that's something a lot of buyers don't think about, is when these neighborhoods are completely finished and not under construction, the difference in feeling is way different. I'm not constantly driving around dump trucks. Just the other day, I left early in the morning to go fish, and there was a concrete truck at one of the exits in my neighborhood. So I'd take an alternative route to leave the neighborhood. Again, not a big deal. It's just little things like that make the neighborhood feel different. Now, as far as home prices in this neighborhood, you're going to see anywhere from around $700,000 to just over $1 million, which is really about average. It's where a lot of Frisco neighborhoods sit. Of course, you have some that you can get into for the 5s to 700s, but a lot of Frisco's in that 700 to 900 range. And of course, as you get into that upper budget, those mid-8s and up in this neighborhood, that's where you're going to get those extra rooms like game room, media room, 3rd car garage, larger lots and higher end finishes. So really depending on your budget on any of these on your list is going to depend where you want to go. If you get into a lower price point neighborhood, 700 there may get you the same home that 900,000 does in like the Fields. One advantage of Hollyhock is since it does kind of fly under the radar, you're not paying the neighborhood tax. And what I mean by that is like, I use the Fields of Frisco as an example a lot. Great neighborhood. We're going to talk about it later, but since it's in the Fields, you automatically pay more, it seems like, right? Hollyhock, it's not like, it's a well-known like a Windsong Ranch or Light Farms. Some neighborhoods, you can have identical house just a couple streets apart, and the price difference can be several tens of thousands of dollars, if not over 100,000. Now, let's talk about your amenities, and be sure to check out my channel. I have videos over all of these on here that really do a deep dive. Right now I'm kind of doing just a 30,000 foot view, but in those videos we'll really break it down and show you what you can get. So be sure to check those out. But also, if you're planning a move here to North Texas, whether that's in the next 9 days or 9 months, reach out to me. I'd love to help you make a smooth move here to Texas and find not only the right neighborhood, but the right home in that neighborhood. But let's talk about the amenities here in Hollyhock. Now, of course, you have a resort style pool. What neighborhood in North Texas doesn't? What does that actually look like here? Well, Hollyhock's pool is actually super nice. It's not extravagant or over the top. It's where, you're actually going to be able to take your kids in the summer. You're going to be able to relax as a parent there. There's plenty of room. You also have a splash pad, which is great if you have younger kids. There's also a fitness center. Now, that may not replace your gym membership when you move here, right? It may not have everything you want, but in a pinch, it may work out for you. Now, of course, you're also going to have your parks, playgrounds, walking trails, and green space here. And one thing I always tell you, the amenities are great, but are you actually going to use them? Like, is it worth paying for? Here in Hollyhock, I actually see a lot of people out and about using them. It's a very outgoing neighborhood. You have people walking, kids riding bikes, dogs out and about on a walk, on a leash. They're not rabid dogs or anything. Now, of course, I would imagine if you're a family relocating with kids here, the most important is going to be schools. Good news, all of them but one on this list are in Frisco ISD, and the one that isn't in Frisco is still in Prosper. Now, if you're moving here from out of state, Frisco and Prosper ISD are two of the most desirable school districts here in North Texas. Both Frisco and Prosper are A-rated schools. Now, which one's a better fit for you and your families? Really up to you on the kid. They're both highly rated, but you need to do your own research and decide which one you think your kid will fit in best, because ultimately, you know your kid the best. Now, let's talk about the stuff no one loves and it's just kind of boring, and that's your HOA and taxes, right? The amenities are great. They've got to get paid for somehow. HOA dues are about $2,400 a year. So, it's billed $600 every quarter, which really isn't terrible for Frisco. Frisco's HOAs, especially in the master plan communities, tend to be a little bit higher, but it depends on the community. This one's definitely on the upper end. You really have to consider everything you're getting here, right? You have those pools, parks, playgrounds, fitness centers, amenities. But if you compare it to like Salina, that is a super expensive HOA. So you really have to compare it to your location you're getting here in Frisco, the convenience of, Frisco has a lot more around you than in like Salina or Prosper, but that's another video. But the big advantage here is the tax rate's about 1.62%, which is a huge advantage. That's really on the lower end of North Texas, right? If you've researched Salina at all, some of those can be in a mud or pit, and you can get 2.5, 2.7% super easily. So that alone could save you several thousands, if not over $10,000 a year. But something to note when you move to North Texas, and even on some of these Frisco neighborhoods, they do vary a little bit, is a $600,000 home in Hollyhock versus a $600,000 home in the Grove are probably going to have different payments. Now, location-wise, this one is honestly in a great spot. You're just south of Highway 380, which is, of course, love-hate relationship with that road, but you have a ton of shopping and dining right there. Traffic's improving on it. Also close to the fields, PGA Frisco. So you have quick access to the Dallas North Tollway, so you can get to the Star and Legacy West super quick. Really almost everything you need is within 15 minutes of you. So if you're used to living or you want to live in a super convenient area and location, Hollyhock's gonna give you that. Really, all of these in Frisco are, right? It's dubbed the 15-minute city for a reason. You're gonna have your groceries, dinner, kids' activities, all within probably about 15 minutes most of the time. So who should buy in Hollyhock? First, I think it's great for families, right? You have amenities, get things to do, parks, playgrounds, green space. Of course, it's also going to be great for move-up buyers, right? Again, that could be families as well. You may have outgrown your first home, want a little bit more space, don't want to quite spend that super luxury price point, but still want to get a great home, big enough for everyone. And of course, if you want it to be in a great school district, you're in Frisco ISD, maybe kids are starting school, you want to make sure they're getting a great education. It's going to be great for them. And then, of course, if you're a professional that works in like Legacy West or even downtown Dallas, it's in a great location to hop on the Dallas North Tollway and get there quick. But who should skip here? Obviously, if you want ultra luxury, you want to live on a golf course, we have community for that later in this video. Or custom estates, this one isn't going to be it for you. Now, the next one is going to be Collinsbrook Farm, and this one is going to be a much smaller, more niche community because not everyone wants to live in a giant master planned community with thousands of homes and all that traffic. This is where Collinsbrook Farms may be a great fit for you. So this is a lot more quieter neighborhood, feels a little bit more tucked away, through traffic, and honestly, super competitive pricing on the homes we'll get into in a moment. And what makes it different than these other communities and what makes it stand out? You know, there's a difference between luxury and exclusivity. Luxury is, of course, going to have those giant clubhouse, great amenities, big price tag that generally comes with those, versus when it's exclusive, have fewer homes, less traffic, a little bit more quiet evenings. That's where Collinsbrook Farms fits. It's not trying to compete with the Fields, not trying to compete with Hollyhock or the Grove, just simply offers a different lifestyle than those other communities. Now let's talk about pricing, because most homes in here start, again, just like last one, $700,000 to $1 million. Now, what you get in each community is going to vary. I have several home tours of Collinsbrook Farms. I'll link them here, or you can search on my channel for them. What I like here is even in that mid $700,000-800,000 range, you're not having to spend $1 million to get a super impressive home. Get the open concept, large kitchens, more space than you probably know what to do with. And of course, as you move up and up into that $8-9 million price range, that's where you're gonna get vaulted ceilings, media room, extra bedroom, 5-6 bedroom home, grand staircase when you enter. It doesn't feel like a production neighborhood where they just threw up these homes super quick. Now, here's the catch with this neighborhood. It's zoned to Prosper ISD. It's a Frisco address zoned to Prosper, which of course I immediately get asked like, well, which one's better, Prosper or Frisco? They're both A-rated, they're both great. Frisco's more established, has way more high schools. Really, both of them are great, and it really depends on your family, right? I'm happy to call and help as much as I can, but really depends what's best for your kids. Prosper still has a little bit more of a smaller feel than Frisco. Well, Frisco's, like I said, a lot more bigger, more established ISD, so it really comes down to what's best for your kid. The HOA in here is one of the cheapest in Frisco. It's about $925 a year, so much cheaper than Hollyhock, much cheaper than the Fields. Now, as far as property taxes here, we're at 1.86%, so a little bit higher than Hollyhock, but still much cheaper than most North Texas neighborhoods. And again, don't just compare the tax rates, you actually have to compare what does it actually cost month to month on your mortgage payment in all of these communities, because HOA tax rate, if it's in a mud pit or MMD, will affect that. Now let's talk about the lifestyle here. This is something you can't really get online through like Zillow or realtor.com. Right, like I said, you're going to see a lot of families out walking here. It's a quieter lifestyle, not driving through a bunch of heavy traffic through the neighborhood. Like I think of like when I drive through Winsong Ranch or Mustang Lakes, it's a lot those are a lot busier neighborhoods. Not that they're worse or better, it just depends what you want. Now, as far as location goes, you're still going to be quick access to the DNT. Most of these neighborhoods, it's going to be a slight advantage on location, so that's why I don't spend a lot of time in it in this video. You're going to be by the Dallas North Tollway, quick access to the Star, Legacy West, Stonebriar, and some of Frisco's best restaurants. Now, it's not right next door to PGA like the Fields, but it's not what a lot of buyers that buy here are looking for. Who is this neighborhood perfect for? I think if you have older kids, the amenities are still good. They're not as great as a lot of the other communities here. For a move-up buyer or someone that just doesn't care to have amenities, like I said, you've got them here. You're going to be able to enjoy. You have about everything you need, but you're going to get a lot quieter neighborhood here in Collinsbrook Farm. You should probably skip it if you want a super active community, as in like community events. You have a bunch of young kids that want, you know, grand amenities, dozens of playgrounds and things of that nature. It's also a lot smaller, so you're not going to have as much hiking and biking trails. Inventories here is also much lower, so no, you're not going to have as much selection if you need to move like right now. So if time and patience are on your side, this one's going to have a little bit of an upper hand. Now, this next neighborhood's kind of the opposite of Collinsbrook Farm. It's a lot more outgoing, bigger, more active, and has some of the best amenities here, and that's going to be Phillips Creek Ranch. Now, this is one of the most popular neighborhoods here in Frisco. It's one of those that's kind of built its reputation, not because it's the newest or the cheapest, but simply just because of what it provides for families. I honestly don't know many people that haven't driven through this neighborhood and aren't impressed by it. You have great landscaping, the lakes throughout the neighborhood, mature trees, trails, everything just feels super finished and polished here. And the big advantage is when you go to a lot of these newer or younger communities, you may just, hey, this is what the amenities are gonna look like. It's gonna go here. Construction is gonna start for another 18 months, but if you wait, it'll be ready. This neighborhood, you get to see exactly what you're getting. Worth a lot more than what a lot of people realize. And one thing I tell buyers, there's a difference between potential and proven. Fields has incredible potential, which we'll talk about in a minute. Phillips Creek Ranch is already proven. People lived here for years. It's continued to hold value. Amenities are built. Landscaping has matured. There's very little guesswork here, which gives buyers a lot of confidence in this community, especially if you're relocating from out of state and can't really visit Frisco every weekend. Home prices in here definitely step it up a bit, but they still start at $600,000 and go up to around $2 million. So you really have everything from a great first-time move-up to your luxury, right? You're still going to get 4 bedrooms at that $600,000 price range, probably an extra bonus room. Then, of course, you step into that $800 million range, you can get bigger lots, probably 3-car garage. And, of course, once you kind of get over 1.2, 1.5 and above, you really get homes that'll compete with any neighborhood in Frisco. So you're moving up, relocating, or buying your forever home, Phillips Creek has it for you. You're gonna have plenty of options. Now, before we talk about amenities, like I said, if you're thinking of planning a move here to North Texas, whether that's in the next 9 days or 9 months, reach out to me. Like I said, I'd love to help you make a smooth move here, way out. Maybe none of these neighborhoods are the right fit for you. Reach out to me. We will find you the neighborhood that is the right fit, or you may come to the conclusion North Texas isn't for you. So it's as much my goal to find out if North Texas is the right fit or isn't the right fit. So all my contact info is in the comments, but let's jump into the amenities because this is really where Phillips Creek Ranch kind of separates itself. Now, you aren't just getting one pool, you're getting a really great lifestyle inside the community here. The resort style pool, beach entry pool, lap pool, which is awesome, of course, if you love to swim or just hang out by the pool. Then there's what they call the Texas backyard. Now, instead of just creating another clubhouse for advertisements, they really made it for the community together, hang out, meet people here. You have fire pits, outdoor grills, sand volleyball, open lawn. I think that's something that gets overlooked because really what makes a community the best and better for you is what the people in the community are like, right? If you never meet anyone, what's the advantage of having all those amenities? Especially when you get outside, your kids are gonna meet other kids, you're gonna get to meet other people your age or your kids' friends' parents. Over time, that becomes one of the biggest reasons people love where they live is the community around them. Now, another thing I love about this community is the trails and green space. You have over 18 miles of trails, so if you go for a walk, you don't have to have the same walk and routine every day. You can mix it up a little bit on your morning walk, run, bike ride, whatever it may be. And that's something you don't really think about till you've lived in the neighborhood a year and realize like, okay, I do the same walk every day. I'm kind of tired of seeing the same things. Now, you also have mature landscaping, which is something that's overlooked a lot. Now, I'm sure you out-of-state buyers, it's really who I hear it from the most. It's like, there's no trees in Texas. Where are the trees? Well, there are. They're just only this tall and their stump is this big around. So this is an older community. You're going to get those bigger, more mature trees that really change the way a neighborhood feels. Like personally, I love Old Plano with those giant oak trees that started in the 40s or 50s. That's just a feel you can't recreate because you're not planting a 60-year-old oak tree in a new neighborhood. Now, with that said, Plano's great. It's not for me, but I love that feeling of Plano. Now, there's some neighborhoods in Frisco that have that as well because there's plenty of older Frisco neighborhoods. Now, let's talk about your HOAs and taxes in Phillips Creek. Your HOA is around $200 a month, which is, again, a little bit on the high side for a lot of North Texas communities, but you have to think about what you get. You're getting multiple pools, a great clubhouse, plenty of walking trails. That is a lot of maintenance. And since there's bigger lots and bigger homes, it's not like, it's not like the builder has more homes to spread that cost up since you're getting that bigger lot. Now, your property taxes are about 1.62%, which is, again, super low for North Texas, and it is going to be one of the big advantages. I know you're saying like, hey, the other one was 1.6 something and the one before was 1.8. Go watch my Salina videos and you will appreciate this 1.6% tax rate. Then as far as location, again, there's really not a Frisco neighborhood that's in a bad location. You're all gonna have pretty quick access to the Dallas North Tollway or 121. You'll be able to get to Legacy West, the Star, Stonebriar, all pretty quick. So like I said, certain ones may shave off 5-10 minutes, especially if you get further south into Frisco by 121. That's really where you're gonna start to see the advantage. So I don't wanna spend a ton of time on location because it's just kind of going to be repeating the same thing. If I had someone call me tomorrow and say, Jake, we're relocating, we have a few young kids, we want great amenities, and we want somewhere that isn't going to take 5 years to feel finished out, Phillips Creek Ranch would 100% be on my list. I think it's also perfect if you have, kids in school, if you work in Frisco or Plano, or if you want to explore some resale homes and not just new construction. And of course, if you want mature landscaping, it's also going to be great if you're not planning to be in this home long-term, because if you buy in some new construction communities, this is only a 3 to 5 year play for you. You may still be competing with the builder when you go to sell. So that's something else to talk about in another video. But again, that's another video. You should probably skip here. Who should skip here, as a matter of fact, right? If you're probably not going to be here super long-term. If you want brand new construction too, you're still going to get newer, nice, great updated homes here, but they're not going to be brand new. Now, if you do want those little bit newer homes, this next one, The Grove, is going to be a good one. Now, this is one of my favorite communities, especially to bring families to, right? Every neighborhood is going to say great for families, family friendly, but how many actually feel like that, or we're just like, you just said that to sound good? This one does. You've got some great amenities we'll talk about here in a minute. It's in a great location. It was actually a farm field not too long ago. Most of it. There's some older homes across the street that are a little bit older. So you do have some resale in the Grove as well. The first thing you'll notice is it feels different. I actually got to watch them build it. It went from a cornfield with tractors in it, harvesting crops, to level dirt, to roads with trails, and then homes. Now I want to back up. They built it around the trails first. They also have parks everywhere. The amenity center is in the center of the neighborhood. So you can really tell it's really walkable. It's built around the amenities, meant to get people out and active. So it's going to be great if you're moving here, you don't know anyone. I know if I was moving to another state, that would be my biggest thing, is kind of want to meet people, have things to do, make friends, have my kids be able to make friends. It's kind of one of those things that's hard to explain until you go through the Grove, which I have a video on. I'll link it here with some drone footage that will help a little bit, especially if you're a visual learner like I am. See a lot of people outside walking. It's family oriented, right? So that's a big bonus if you really value meeting other families being out. You like to do outside activities. Again, a lot of them fall in that 6 to 9, but you also have anywhere from 400 to 2 million. Now, that's a big advantage because it works for everywhere from your first-time home buyer to your ultra-luxury buyer. Now, this isn't like you have a $400,000 home and then a $2 million home right next door. The neighborhood's kind of clustered in price ranges, so it's not going to look funky of a smaller home next to a mansion and then another smaller home and a medium size. So the neighborhood doesn't look funky. Don't worry about that. Now, let's discuss the amenities of the Grove. Everything's kind of centered around the Orchard House, which is their clubhouse. It's like the Turtle Club in Ramble. You have multiple resort style pools, which if you're not from a warm climate, you'll quickly learn is going to be your best friend here in Texas. Now, truthfully, there's really only 2-3 months of extremely hot weather here. That's kind of beginning to mid of July all the way through September, and then it kind of starts to cool off, right? You'll get several days over 100, and that'll be in a row. Of course, in June and September, October, there's going to be some 100-degree days, but for mid-July through about September, most days are probably going to be at or over 100 most of the time. There's also a splash pad if you have younger kids. You also have your pickleball courts. You have a fitness center. And like I said at the beginning, it has a ton of trails. They built these first, so they really intertwine and connect the entire neighborhood together. So if you love to walk, bike, walk the dog, go on family walks, you're gonna have plenty of options here. You also have pocket parks, green spaces. So your kid wants to go pick up football, right? Of course, basketball and pickleball. There's tons of activities inside the community. No matter where you live in the community, whether it's in a $400,000 home or a $2 million home, you're just a short walk away from a lot of your amenities, which is super important because you'll see in some neighborhoods that the amenities are in this corner, and if you live in that corner of the neighborhood, it's kind of inconvenient a little bit. Now, another big advantage, it's in Frisco ISD. Again, Collinsbrook Farms was the only one not in Frisco on this list. It's in Prosper, still a great school district. But if you're relocating here with kids, it's going to be one of your most important factors because some Frisco addresses will not be zoned to Frisco ISD. Some of them will be McKinney, some Prosper. So you want to make sure you verify that before signing a contract. Now again, the HOA here is about $2,500 a year, which is about on par for this list, right? The Fields is also, it's like $27. It's a little more expensive. Again, we're going to talk about the Fields in a minute. And Collinsbrook Farms was the cheapest. So, right, you're still getting a lot, walking trails, not a huge advantage, but your pools, pickleball courts, basketball, green spaces, all of that is super important. Now, of course, again, not to get off Frisco, but you can go to Salina, get a much cheaper HOA. Your taxes are going to be higher and your everyday driving is going to be higher. So don't be scared off completely by the HOA. I understand it is a good chunk of money each year, but you're buying back your time with this location, so they charge you a little bit more. Now, taxes here are about 1.66%. So again, as you'll notice, Frisco taxes are a lot lower. And this is very competitive for this section of Frisco, which, location-wise, again, I don't think really any part of Frisco is in a bad location. It depends what's important to you. So I always encourage people whenever they come out here to visit, especially if you're moving from out of state, take the first day you're here just to drive around the areas you're interested in. Figure out which location is best because Frisco is somewhat less location driven than like Salina, just because Frisco is so much more established. You can get on a lot of your major highways a lot quicker. Now, not saying that if you choose another neighborhood, your commute won't be 10 or 15 minutes less, but it may not be worth it for you because your commute only may be 30, 35 minutes versus Salina. We're talking the difference of one Salina neighborhood's an hour 15 and the other is 35 minutes. So again, in this neighborhood, not to get tired, be close to PGA, Fields, Legacy West, all the, Disney, what's it called? Universal Kids. It's the end of the day. It's been a long day. Forgive me. The Star, all your excellent restaurants and shopping. You've got some great barbecue places. You got Babe's Chicken in Frisco, which is great. Like I said, you're not just buying a house, you're buying the convenience that comes with living in Frisco. Now, I guess it's great. If you have a young family, they've got a lower entry price point. This is your first move up. You're relocating from a more expensive state. You get a lot more for your money. You're gonna be able to get those huge lots, bigger home with a sweet media room, home office, theater room, extra bedroom, game room, and of course if you want newer home. Now, you're going to want to skip it if you want complete privacy or like a gated community, huge estate lots, you want a little bit smaller neighborhood. That's where Collinsbrook Farm is going to be a great fit for you. Now, last but not least, let's talk about the Fields. That is by far the, most popular and hottest community, probably in all of DFW, but 100% in Frisco. Now, if you made it this far in this video, thank you. We've also talked about boutique luxury, established communities. Fields of Frisco is going to be buying into the future of Frisco. Now, still a super established community, but it's still one of the newest as well. Now, why is everyone talking about Frisco? I'm sure if you've typed in moving to Frisco, best neighborhoods in Frisco, Fields of Frisco is probably one of the top options. Everywhere's talking about it. There's news articles, people on the news, real estate developers, real estate agents talking about it. Here's my question. Why is that? Because a ton of people talk about it's right by PGA, Universal Kids, Fields West, it has those luxury homes. You stop there. Fields is a lot bigger than that, right? Most places in Frisco, you're going to be close to all of those. Most homes in Frisco, you have that luxury price point. But Fields isn't just another subdivision. It's a city within itself. You're going to have, of course, thousands of homes. It's 2,500 acres, $15 billion development. So there's going to be retail, restaurants, hotels, office buildings, walking trails, entertainment, parks, schools, and of course, thousands of new jobs. So here you're literally watching an entire new section of Frisco be created from the ground up, and there's really not too many more opportunities of that. Now, one thing I always tell buyers is real estate usually follows jobs. Don't hype the jobs. Think of some of the fastest growing cities. People don't just move there because the homes are pretty. Move there because their companies move there, and then those people need a place to eat and shop and dine and entertainment. So all other infrastructure follows. Now, of course, we have to talk about, you have PGA headquarters with its 2 championship golf courses there. You have the Omni Resort right next door to it. You have Universal Kids that you can see from Fields of Frisco. All of these things bring people and create demand, right? I've talked to a ton of builders. They have a ton of the Disney employees and engineers and other people relocating for jobs and work from New Jersey, California, Washington, moving into these new neighborhoods. Now, PGA, of course, changed everything. I'm not a huge golf guy. I'd love to get into it. I'm just terrible at it. You've probably seen pictures of it. You know, there's big tournaments that go on there, concerts, restaurants, events. Once you see it, you really understand what it's all about. And then you have Universal Kids. Disney could have chose anywhere, and they chose Frisco for this location. The reason for that, Frisco is one of the fastest growing cities, right? That was a business decision for them. They're not just gonna randomly pick and hope and pray that their revenue is more than their expenses. Now let's talk about the home prices in Fields. Now, most of them are about $700,000, and you can find $4, $5, $6 million homes here. That's gonna be in the Preserve. There's a gated section of the Fields of Frisco. I have a video coming out just on the Preserve here soon. So be sure to subscribe for that. And then of course, right, you have any questions, making a move here, reach out to me. I'd love to help you really dissect the North Texas market and figure out what's important for you and your family. But with that said, you do have East Village, which is the most affordable section of the Fields. You're gonna have some townhomes starting in the 5s, and those are nice sized townhomes, like 2,500 square feet, 4 bedrooms, and right, you're gonna be close to the Fields. Now, if you really want a single family home, in East Village, you're gonna start in the 7s, and the rest of Fields, it's going to be in the 8s or 9s. So Fields is expensive, but you really get the lifestyle, which we'll talk about here in a moment. You're going to get great new construction homes. You have great builders to choose from. Modern layouts, energy efficient homes, all the newest upgrades and everything that's in style now, colors, designs, 3-car garages, premium lots, luxury finishes. And of course, if you move into 1.5, 3 million plus, those are going to be your custom homes. Coates Homes in there, which is a super popular custom builder. They're mainly down in Dallas. So you're also going to get those outdoor living spaces at that price point that feel like the resort, bigger lots, right? Like I said, it's gated, which is a huge advantage. Now, amenities wise, you're going to get resort style pool. Of course, you've got to have pickleball courts in 2026 in your neighborhood. Tennis courts, event spaces, some beautiful green spaces, walking trails, parks and playgrounds. Those are really only part of the story, because the real advantage of the Fields is its location, right? You're really close to everything you need. Restaurant, shopping, entertaining, PGA, future office spaces, future retail. You basically have Legacy West moving in next door to you. Now, not really, but minutes away. It's not like your next door neighbor, but it's right over there, not far. So you don't have to drive to Legacy West once that is done. Now, HOA, of course, you're gonna ask, it's $2,700, it depends. That tends to be about the average. It varies a little bit section to section in the Fields. And you're probably thinking, again, that's expensive. Are you comparing it to an older neighborhood with one pool, or are you comparing it to another master plan community that has similar amenities? Because it's actually pretty competitive. Again, you've got to compare value and not just price, and figure out if the price justifies the value. Again, super impressive tax rate, 1.62%. That's one thing that's super attractive about Frisco, is it does tend to have lower taxes, especially compared to Salina. A lot of my recent videos have been about Salina, so this feels like property taxes are free after talking about 2.7, 2.8% property tax. Now, of course, this one's also in Frisco ISD. I don't need to reiterate. You've heard it 3 or 4 other times. Good community. What's all great about it. I've got some videos about Frisco versus Prosper ISD as well. You can go check out. But I don't want to bore you with keep saying the same thing over and over and over again. Now, most important about the Fields is going to be the lifestyle it provides for you. When you buy into the Fields, you're buying into a community that, yes, it already has a lot. Some of the amenities are already done, but it's going to continue improving over the next several years. Every year, there's going to be something new. New restaurants, new retail, new entertainment. Some buyers love that and others don't. And here's the biggest misconception I hear is, well, I don't want to move into active construction area. Yes, I totally understand that. There's gonna be sections where you may be the last house on the street and you really don't have to deal with it. I mean, construction isn't fun, but on the flip side, if you wait till everything's done, you're gonna be paying tomorrow's prices, which are likely gonna be much higher. Now, who should buy in the Fields? If I had someone that said, hey, we wanna raise our family here, we don't wanna move, we wanna be here the next 10, 15 plus years, we wanna already have pretty much everything around us when we move in with great amenities, Fields of Frisco is definitely one you have to keep on your list. Now, I think it's also perfect for executives, of course, your luxury buyers and professionals, right? Of course, it's got the luxury price point for professionals. You're in a great location if you have to commute every day or you're a hybrid work schedule. Of course, if you're relocating from a higher cost estate, a $1 million home in the fields is going to be much more than a $1 million condo in California. Now, who should skip it? If you want your mature trees everywhere, you want absolutely no construction around you, this isn't going to be it. You should probably go to like Phillips Creek Ranch if you want the more mature landscaping. Then, of course, if your budget is $600,000 or under, like I said, there's a couple options in the fields, but you're going to be super limited. Honestly, if you fall into that price point, I think it's worth checking out Salina. Your money's going to go a lot further there. I have a ton of great communities in Salina and videos about them, so go check those out. But also don't be afraid to reach out with me and ask like, hey Jake, my budget is $500,000. Like, where do you think we should buy? We'll talk about it. See if North Texas makes sense or not. Now, I hope that was helpful. I hope that helps you break down Frisco, saves you some time driving around. Like I said, focus on the community and neighborhood research first, because most of these communities are going to have a floor plan you like, the correct number of bedrooms and square footage. You want to make sure you get a community you like and love. Let me know, was this video helpful? Which neighborhood was your favorite on this list? And of course, if you're planning a move here to North Texas, whether that's Frisco, Prosper, Salina, or another North Texas suburb, reach out to me. I'd love to help you make a smooth move here to Texas. Find the right community and the right home. Be sure to subscribe. I post 5 videos a week going over topics like this, neighborhood comparisons, home tours, what homes actually look like in these communities. So a ton of valuable information if you're relocating to North Texas. But thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in Texas soon.